Hey, what up, world? It's Andros the boss, doing a little bit something different, trying to, in essence, try to create a channel in which I can speak about my wife Emerald and try to get her um, her personality out to the world a little bit more. I know that a lot of you know her and have spoken with her in depth and um, know who she is, but I just wanted to be able to shed some more light on that, especially since right now we are coming up on 2 years without her here anymore. And she, and we're no closer to finding out who did this incredibly heinous act to her and her coworker. And it's taken me some time to get to this point to really speak further about her because um, it's just really tough knowing that I'm not spending this time with her anymore. And I am, in essence, kind of alone in this world. And I know I have family, I have friends, I have people that are here for me, but it's different when you don't have that person at the end of the day that you can go to and chat with about everything that's going on and be able to get feedback and um, be able to have someone to uh, be there to support you in everything through everything that's going on in your head, your mind, your life, and that. And I wanted to take this opportunity because I feel like I'm at a point now that I can and I want to speak further about introducing her to everybody more and having them understand who she is and what type of person that was taken away from myself as well as her son Michael. Um, and it's going to be tough, and it's something that I've tossed around the idea of doing for a while and how I would do it. And a big part of that I think is everyone out there that does know her is being able to share those moments as well with myself, with others that know her intimately, and be able to paint a picture of what type of person was taken away way too soon. Um, as I said, it's almost 2 years now, and there's been no further updates or um, solid leads, I guess you could say, to put someone behind bars or make them um, have to pay for their crime. And I think this is my opportunity to try and put a face and a voice to one of the many important people in Emerald's life that doesn't get to see her every day, doesn't get to converse with her every day, doesn't get to just just have her be there. Um, she's my wife, and it's deeper than physical physical characteristics, though she is the most beautiful woman in the world, and I'll fight you for that. Just saying. But she she is so selfless and would rather you be happy. Her happiness came from other people's happiness based on what she was able to help them do or be able to provide that happiness to them. And I think that's such a wonderful characteristic to have because there's not a lot of those types of people out there anymore. It's a me, and um, she was not like that. She would family dinners, for example, she would maybe eat 2 bites, but she just wanted to make sure that her mom and dad didn't have to clean up after dinner. or during dinner or before dinner. She would try to do everything and then only have a couple of bites because she knew that she wanted to get everything taken care of for them, which is so wonderful, but also very frustrating as her husband to try and get her just to eat, just to chill for a second, to enjoy the moment of being around others. But that just wasn't her. She was going to always be the type of person to go above and beyond and make sure everyone else was taken care of 100% before she even got to enjoy the moment. Um, which is obviously why she went into the profession that she went into, and something that um, we as a husband and wife team kind of sacrificed for now to um, not see each other as much as we probably should have, based on the opportunity that she had to be a general manager at the restaurant that she inevitably was murdered at. And that's really unfortunate and really tough to live with every day, knowing that we didn't spend that time together by choice, knowing that it was best for our future, not knowing that the future was not going to come. It was cut short. It stopped. And that's something I have to live with every day, knowing that I'm unable to rewind time and be able to spend that extra time with her, or when she got home late from work, for her to wake me up and let's hang out and talk and do all that catch up stuff. But it didn't work like that, because once again, obviously, we thought we had more time. And this is the opportunity that I would like to just be able to get the story back out there again. And maybe someone out there will hear this and remember a conversation that they had with somebody, or they will um, just know something that they are able to give to the detectives, and they can work on it further. It is something that I know a lot of people are upset and have feelings like the detectives aren't doing everything that they can, but I think that this is a very delicate situation that we are in, because whatever happens to trying to find someone to take responsibility for this, they're trying to get the evidence to make sure that this person goes behind bars for a very long time. They're not just saying, let's this it could be this person, and we have a good amount of evidence but not enough to convict. It is something that I know I know that they're working on it. The the detective is going out of state and interviewing people further, which means that they have enough of a lead that the department is paying for them to take flights, stay in hotels, organize time at a local police station to question somebody, um, getting DNA samples if needed, all of that stuff to try and follow up on the leads that they feel are fairly solid enough that they can get to the point to do that. Um, and I know that that hasn't been put out into public knowledge, but here I am putting it into public knowledge now to hopefully help everyone understand that things are being done, but it just doesn't happen overnight. Um, and it's something I've come to realize, though, as well, is that obviously money is not a motivating factor. Um, and the reason why I say that is because now the reward is and has been at $32,600 or 36,200. One of the two. I mean, it's over $30,000 worth of reward with information that leads to the eventual arrest of someone that has been involved in this heinous crime. And nothing's come of that in over a year since it got up to that amount. So obviously, money is not a motivating factor, or the right people have not heard that there is such a large, substantial amount of money available to someone as a reward. And that's really a very sickening thing to think about, because it shouldn't take any amount of money to report a crime that took away two wonderful people that did nothing except, I guess, be in the wrong place at the wrong time. Unless you tell me different. Unless somebody tells me different, that my wife was one that was targeted for whatever reason. I still don't know if I would ever understand why someone would target Emerall. I mean, an old employee, I don't see that, simply because this is the restaurant industry is a revolving door of employees and people that get fired. It's for one reason or another, and it's not that she would have fired someone out of spite or um, any any sort of malice or negative feelings. There's She would be doing it out of, for a reason, because standards weren't upkept, and um, any sort of variable of things that you can do to get fired from a job: not showing up on time, calling in too much. Um, and I think that she was able to purvey that to, or convey that to people as well, if that was what had to happen. So it is it is something that uh, I would hope is not a motivating factor, but maybe it was. And they say everyone's been searched, and um, they've gone through the interview process and the gauntlet of speaking with detectives about their relationship with her, and um, they don't believe that it's an ex-employee at all or anything. So we can only take everyone's word for that. Um, and I want to, once again, just use this platform to be able to speak further about her as well, not just about um, what the detectives are and are not doing, or where that part of the case is at, because regardless, regardless, she's not coming back, and that really sucks. But what we can do is get justice, and in the meantime, I can try to get that word out of what type of person was taken away from everybody. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I want to take this whole channel: getting justice for Emerall, and obviously justice for Nacho as well. But I did not know him, obviously, as intimately as I knew Emerall. So that's who I'm going to focus on, um, and that's who I want to, and that's who I want everyone to um, be able to remember and talk about, and give your stories of her, of what you've seen from her as a person, um, her interactions with you, with others. You know, I get a lot of people that come up to me, especially from the place where she was last at, um, being a fine dining, high end type restaurant. she, I had plenty of people come up to me and let me know that, hey, not only was she absolutely wonderful as being able to take care of us, but she took care of our kids more importantly, first and foremost, which allows we as parents to be able to enjoy an evening out. Um, is when the kids are taken care of and you don't have to worry about them so much. Yes, you obviously they're your children and you do have to worry about them, but the way that she was able to engage them to make sure that they were going to make it an easygoing evening for their parents is something that I've had multiple people tell me, like, no one else does that. She was always thinking of taking care of the kids first, and then therefore the parents would be taken care of in that sense. And that's just, once again, the type of person that she was. And it is true. I don't think that you see that in a ton of places, is where, um, even the children are taken care of like adults in essence and make them feel like they have some sort of power and they are um, empowered in that sense as well. And that's who she was wherever she went. She would do that same thing at the brewery, and those are kind of two different levels of dining experiences: a brewery and fine dining. Just two different types of experiences, but you did have children, families come in, and them being able to get taken care of, I think, spoke volumes to who she was as a person and who she wanted to be, who and what she wanted to be remembered and known as well. Um, I mean, I think a lot of it is a lot of about her is about everybody else. And if you know who she takes care of and who she wants to associate with, you kind of get to know what type of person she is. Um, I mean, she's a funny story. I mean, she is if everyone has heard of sleepwalkers, Emerald is what we would call a sleep eater. And her other personality, Michael and I would call her Cassie. And I don't exactly remember where it came from, but I think I just made up a name of this is who her alternative ego is when she's sleepwalking, which turns into becoming a sleep eater. Her name's Cassie, and her nightstand in the morning was always filled with three empty Capri Sun packs and fruit snacks and granola bars and mac and cheese and all sorts of things the next morning. And she always never remembers where it came from. Um, so we would always have a good laugh about that. And there'd be some times that she would actually wake up. She'd fall asleep on the couch while we're watching a movie or something, and she'd wake up and tell Michael, "You need to get back to bed. It is way too late." And we kind of both look over at her and realize that she's kind of sleep talking now, and realize that she has no idea what time it is or what's going on because it's only 7 o'clock. And she thought that Michael had gone to bed, gotten up, and he was watching TV still. So just kind of fun stuff that she used to do that um, obviously just makes you laugh because she's just like, what is going on right now? What are you talking about? And it's obviously a fun thing to be able to reminisce about now. Um, and a lot of my every day, I look at the I look at like Facebook memories, and I see a lot of the photos of her and I and Michael, me and Michael, um, and we had a really fun time, really great time, and it does make it very difficult to go back to a lot of places that um, make to go back to a lot of those same places where we did that type of stuff. Um, this last summer, Michael and I had gone to Glenwood Springs, which was kind of like our it was like our special place. It was just a place that we would always go to be able to relax, take some time, reconnect with each other, and just have like a mini vacation getaway. And when we went back, it just wasn't the same. And I didn't expect it to be the same, but I did expect it to be a little therapeutic, and it was not anything like that. It was very difficult looking back on it, and just even driving around this state, going places. It's really tough not to remember her in a lot of those instances because because a lot of that time that I was on the road when I was doing beer delivery, I was on the phone with her. I'd get to the hotel and then I'm on the phone with her. Um, and a lot of those memories are linked to all of that. Um, Getting to the final destination, being able to get on the phone and just catch up with her and hear her voice, being able to um, even just driving around the city, I'd be on the phone with her, and it's little conversation snippets that I'll always remember. I'll always remember. And I guess that is the only thing that I have left now is those memories, but it is hopefully something that I can hold on to and be able to um, convey to everyone who she is, and um, hopefully these bring back memories of your own that you can be happy looking back on, just knowing that you had the chance to actually meet her. And I think throughout this series, kind of, I do want to bring in those that know her as well and kind of talk with them about her, and what they remember fondly of my wife, and um, being able to enjoy some of the same things that she did. Obviously, she was uh, a beer drinker. That I mean, that's one of the things that we did together very often. I mean, we both have our hop tattoos. No, it is not an artichoke. I get that a lot. It's a hop. But we got those together. Gosh, I don't even remember. She did it for one of our anniversaries um, before we got married. So it had to have been probably 2016 or so. 2016, 2017. We got those together, and um, we always talked about, or she always threatened me. She said, "Well, now you're mine forever for sure." And I knew I was going to marry her and always be with her forever. That wasn't a, there was no question in that. No question. And it just sucks that I don't get to spend that time with her ever again. It's all in my dreams, and some of those dreams are really real. And it feels like I'm touching her and I'm talking to her, and but anytime I get to a point of being able to maybe ask her what happened or who did it or that, the dream gets foggy and she stops talking and she goes. Um, which is really tough because when I see her in the dreams, it ends up being it's never enough time. Never enough time. And that's kind of just where we're at. there was never enough time, and there's never enough time in that dream. And so I don't bring up anything that has anything to do with the case or that type of stuff when I speak with her in my dreams. I just let it all go and see where it takes me, and let's let's enjoy that time we do have together, because I do believe that it is her visiting me in the dream. It's not a subconscious way of, because I was thinking about her before I went to sleep, I'm going to dream about her, because I think about her every night before I go to sleep, but she's not always there. And it really sucks to not be able to see her all the time, and hold her. And I still say goodnight to her every night. I say goodbye to her before I leave in the morning. Um, and that's just the reality of I guess grief at this point, that I'm still obviously working through. I mean, grief is a all encompassing. It's going to be for the rest of my life. I'm always going to have some degree of it as it relates to Emerald. Because I don't think that will ever go. I think about that future without her, and it's really hard to see it. Really hard to see it. And that is that is just the reality now. That's my reality now. But I think this is my chance to hopefully try and get this story back out there. Um, Maybe this spreads, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's therapeutic for me, maybe it isn't. Um, but if I can just get more people to share this, and um, get others to hear it, to help out, to open their ears. It's kind of the whole. I'll give you a good little office reference. If I tell two people, and then those two people tell two people, and then those two people tell two people, that's not a pyramid scheme, right? But this is an information pyramid scheme that I'm trying to implore everyone to help me out with. It's something I've tried to explain in words on Facebook posts, and I don't know how far it goes. I'm not really sure what I see. All the reshares, I don't know where they're getting reshared, and obviously it is a lot of um, similar friends and mutual friends, all within similar groups as far as in Colorado, in these areas and all that. But like I said, these detectives have gone out of state to question people and try to understand it more. And that means that the information just needs to get spread even further, so that more people are knowledgeable about what's happening, what happened, and continue to try and find someone that is responsible. Because I want justice served. I need it served. I want that person's future to be taken away same way that my future was taken away from Emerald. And because that's what was ultimately taken away from me, was Emerald and my future together. Um, so yeah, I do want to read some kind of what I. This was a couple of months ago. What I wanted to really show what I want this to be about. So I just wanted to put it out there, and just so you kind of know what to expect if you keep seeing these popping up, and what's the everything's going to happen with it. So I wanted to do something in essence to remember my wife as a person she was, and also to continue to bring notice, and also to continue and bring notice to what happened to her and Ignacio. It has been a long, hard road to get to this point, and I'm now at a space I can focus on bringing this attention to the most selfless, beautiful, and wonderful person I know. my wife Emerald. During these episodes of podcasts, I want to get people on here that know Emerald just as intimately as me. As her husband, I was lucky enough to know so much about her, but this is a chance to talk to those that she affected in such a huge positive way. I love talking about my wife and her memory is how she will live on. I also want to talk about the days following her murder with those that come on. This is a way to talk therapeutically about the after effects of death and, more importantly, grief. Such an important emotion that is looked down upon, especially in American society. And I want to shed a little more light onto how that emotion affects us each differently, but know that it's necessary to living. Emerald was such an important part of my life, obviously, but I love to talk about her. She made me smile every day and glad to be accepted into her clan. It was Emerald and Michael that allowed me to be a part of their lives. And that's ultimately what it came down to is before before I even proposed, I not only spoke with Emerald's dad, Casey, but I also spoke with Michael to see if he was okay with it. Because if he wasn't going to be okay with it, then it just wasn't fair to him to take away his mom, and not take away, but to marry his mom if I wasn't going to treat him just as my own, which I have. And now, I am taking on that vow that I made to her as well as Michael on our wedding day to be taking care of both of them until death do us part. And unfortunately, hers came earlier than mine. Um, but I will still keep that promise to Michael that I want to be there for him however I can be and take care of him 100%. And, it is something that I do think about. It's if I could trade spots with her, I would easily, easily. Because I don't think any kid should be growing up without a mom, especially at that age. Um, and it hurts every day knowing that, and that I can't help the way that I wish I could. Um, so, but yeah, I just want to end this with gratitude for hopefully sharing this further. Um, I'll also get a link in the bottom here for the Crime Stoppers poster so you can share that exclusively as well. Um, you know, a very large reward for any information that leads to arrests, and that would just be forever grateful if we can get to that point to make everyone involved get the justice that we all deserve. So until next time, thank you so much, and hope to talk and see you soon.